And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thomson. 100% agree. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Welcome back to the Weighing In podcast. My man, the Punk, Josh Thompson, who is in Calabasas after doing the Fight Companion with Big Brown Brendan Schaub. I know you had fun doing it, but we have got a podcast to do. The Weighing In podcast is coming at you after UFC 264. The Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier trilogy is now over. And we're going to talk about everything that happened during that show and a couple other things. So how was your time with Fight Companion there, baby?
It was amazing. We had a great time. Brendan introduced me to a bunch of really good whiskey. So
we're in trouble.
It's been awesome. It was great. I just had 2 glasses to make sure we kept it under control. It's really good stuff. One called Whistle Pig.
Yeah, Whistle Pig's good.
Yeah, Whistle
Got a bunch of
really
it.
Good. There's another one called, I don't know, it's a Japanese version. It was like called Mayo.
There's a lot of Japanese.
Yeah, he said it was really expensive. He said about $1,600 a bottle.
Whoops. I haven't had that one.
Yeah, it was good though. It was good. Sweet, went down nice, smooth.
Yeah.
But everything was great. But you said the trilogy is over. But is it really over?
Oh, please.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it needs to be. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I love when a fighter is telling people what the stoppage is, because it really wasn't a doctor stoppage. When his ankle went, or his leg, whatever it's going to be, that fight's over. And it doesn't matter. You don't need the doctor to say it. Now, Herb waited, and the doctor said, yeah, his ankle's broken. He called the fight. It's a TKO. You lost.
Yeah.
That is just the way it is. And I do believe that if you go back and you watch, it was one of the checks, because if you watch when Conor takes a step before he does the buckle, you'll see his lower leg ankle buckle. Yep. It'll have that little, and then he takes the step back, and then it folds. So it was in the process. Something happened during that fight on one of the kicks with a check or something. It cracked it. It fractured it. And then just the weight and the pressure on it made it break. And then when he took that final step, you could see it just folded over. But just before it, you can see that there was a problem, and it actually broke before he actually took that step, and it looked really bad.
Yeah, we're here in the Thick Boy studio, so if it's a little noisy, you guys got to just bear with it, buddy. People are here hanging out, just talking the fights and everything that happened. It was crazy, but the reality is that this comes from inactivity. And that's really what I feel like it comes from. The building up of the calcification over the time of kicking the bag, of kicking partners, training partners, all the checking of the kicks, all those things. That comes with time and training. That's why Brendan and I were talking earlier tonight with Cody Garbrandt, and we were talking about how the fact that you get into your camps 10 weeks out. Doesn't mean you train hard for the first 4 weeks, but you get in there 10 weeks so you get your body used to taking that abuse.
You are forming a callus.
Yes.
Yep. I agree.
And so that's exactly, I think, and remember when we talked about this last week, I said, it really just comes down to the fact that his inactivity has really changed how he fights. Yeah. He can't take the punishment that he used to. It takes years to develop that. He's been away for years. Well,
it goes away.
It's no different than when a fighter goes, hey, it took me 10 weeks to get in fight shape. But guess what? The night of my fight, I went out drinking. The next day I ate ice cream, and then I ate fast food. And then by Monday, you don't even look like the same fighter, because it doesn't take that long to get out of that shape. What do you think's going to happen if you were out for 2.5, 3 years? I don't think he fought since 2016, 2017 was his last fight before the Dustin fight, right?
No.
So before Dustin.
No. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of.
When did he fight Khabib?
He fought Khabib. Oh my God.
2018,
yeah. October
2018. Okay, sorry. So. I was way off. So 2018. But my point is that the inactivity of that is what created this type of thing. Is because your body, your bones, they calcify over time.
They do. They get stronger. They get thicker.
Yep.
All of it.
And so I think there's a lot, like I've talked to guys like Kyle Kingsbury. The reason why he does so many farmer walks, with the carries the heavy kettlebells, or he runs with a weight vest on, or he walks with a weight vest on, does stairs, is because it helps make your bones a little bit more dense. Yeah, for the density of the bones. This is what he lacked. And you see that when people get older, you start to see that. They said that the bones become a little bit more brittle.
Watch it.
Anderson Silva, I know we've already seen your ribs are gone. They're quick. It's real easy. You fell from like 2 feet and all of a sudden now 6 ribs are broken. I get it. Okay. But that's really what it comes down to, is that it's the inactivity. I'm not saying that he would have won the fight. I'm not even going to even go there.
Come on.
Maybe he wasn't looking good.
No.
But he was looking good on the feet. It's just a matter of he couldn't stop the takedown.
Was he looking good on the feet? He did good in the first. Hold on. He did really good in the first 45 seconds to 1 minute.
Which he normally does anyways.
That's his time. That's Conor's blitz, man, to go. And he was landing the calf kick on Dustin. He did some good things, but he also got stung too. He stung Dustin on one of those shots, but Dustin stung him back. You saw him get hurt.
Real quick. Who's that guy?
Let's see it.
Who's that guy?
Damn, look at that beautiful boy right there. That's a thick body.
Say what's up, thick boy.
What's up, brother? We missed you, man.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to be see you there sometime.
Oh man. Yeah, everyone's here just hanging out and stuff. So we'll jump on the screen real quick. But it's just funny. We had a great time. What's it called? The guy we did it with today.
Cody.
Bradley Martin.
Well, I was gonna say Bradley, but then we were up like $4,000 betting Brendan. Well, I wasn't up. Bradley was up, but he gave me some money because I told him which bets to take.
You told him to take Conor too.
I didn't tell him to take Conor.
You told to Conor. No. I know you took Conor in the end. You took Conor. I was like, you just lost that man's money.
Brendan had lost 2 times. So he said he wanted to get his money back. So he said, no, I want Dustin, you get Conor. So he's like, double or nothing. So yeah, you got to listen to the show, guys. If you guys missed the show, you guys got to listen to the show. It was fun. We had a great time. Good stuff. But funny stuff as well.
I think you're absolutely right, though. The one thing people need to realize, and we talk about it all the time as far as being in grappling or in fighting, we talk about tough skin and soft skin. And when you're away from, the gym and you're away from the grappling, all of a sudden you just grapple and guys are just rubbing on you. And all of a sudden you got these giant lines and bruises across your face. And your skin went from being tough skin where it doesn't mark when you're getting hit to being, it marks when it gets touched. Yeah. And I honestly think that it's just that it's the months of inactivity that Conor is doing where he's not in the gym. He's working out, but he's not in the gym getting into pads and hitting heavy bags and having people bump into him and having people spar with him and kick and all those things. And it's just having a difference in his ability to actually accept some of that damage. And it's also, hey, maybe it's that, that little bit is a little bit off and, it's just not quite the same guy.
I get it.
The mystique is gone as far as he's still a fantastic athlete. He's still a fantastic fighter. But that level where he had the edge is now gone.
Yep.
And so now it comes down to
that all comes from the inactivity, though. The level that he had the edge is years of building up to get to that level. And when you take time away like he did, like he has been doing, it just starts to spiral down. And everyone else is on that level, that hunger level. Dustin Poirier has just been building himself up step by step by step every single day. He's in the gym, whether he's training hard or he's helping his teammates train hard. That's what it is. It comes out. That used to be Conor. That's not Conor anymore. His hands are in too many pots. He's not able to stay in the gym, focus. And also, too, even with the Ireland
but you can't blame him.
He wouldn't. No, I can't blame him. He's worth $400 million. I've told you this. I've questioned every single day why this fucking guy is still fighting.
I know.
Like, why are you fighting? Like, what's the point? You're not going to, sure, you're going to make let's just say you make $20 million. You're worth $400 million. What's another $20 million going to do for you? You know what I mean? Like, it gets to that point where I understand where you're headed.
Baby needs a new pair of shoes, baby.
Yeah, I mean, look, I walked through the mall the other day, and I just so happened to stop in Louis Vuitton. I saw a pair of shoes there. They were $1,000.
Are you?
This is
please.
And they look like the Reebok, the old school Reebok versions. I was like, what are you doing? Who's buying these? Really?
What's the most expensive pair of shoes you've ever bought?
I bought a pair of brand new Air Force Max 1s or something like that. They were $200.
Okay. That's the most expensive pair, because I would say cowboy boots are probably the most expensive I've ever bought.
No, I would never buy cowboy
tennis
boots,
shoes, most expensive, $140.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's 200. I bought them actually. The reason why they were cost so much, I bought them like the week they came out. I didn't even know they came out that week. I walked in the store. I really liked them. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna buy them. I didn't even know what their price was. I didn't know anything of it. I just picked them up, put them up at the counter. It's like, yeah, $210 because they would tax. It was like $180, something like that, like $210. I was like, shit. So whatever. I was already up at the counter. I didn't want to walk away because I was cheap. So I was like, fuck, I suckered myself into it.
Oh, I got to pay for it now.
Yeah, that was a shitty situation.
But I do want to say, hey, you know what? Dustin Poirier went out. He put on a great performance. And I really want to say, you know, what happened at the end of that fight, and I feel bad for Conor with the break because that was horrible. That shouldn't happen to anybody. And I know the frustration that he had because I'm sure he felt like he was going to come out in the second round and things were going to be different in the second round for him and stuff, and they might have been. But you got to give Dustin Poirier all the credit in the world. He put up with a lot of stuff. It did not bother him this time. We talked about the head games. I really saw the difference in it. Looked to me like Conor was trying to not so much. He's trying to get it, Dustin. He's trying to believe it himself. He's trying to talk himself into this whole thing. And that's when you get into, I'm going to murder this guy. I'm going to do all this stuff. Fighting isn't about murdering people, man. It's about being smart. Fighting is about being smart. I know people don't understand that when they're thinking, well, what do you mean smart? A smart fighter is a dangerous fighter. A smart fighter, a relaxed fighter, someone that's confident. You put those things together, man, you got someone that's hard to beat because they're thinking, they have the ability to understand what's happening and how to adjust in a fight. You got to give Dustin Poirier. He even adjusted in that fight. When Conor went after the guillotine, guys, it wasn't close. Okay? Never was he in trouble. You saw right away. You saw when Dustin is moving over the legs, and you're seeing Conor trying to get he's got to get those legs around the body to make that thing tight, and he's using the fence as a balance point. All it takes is 3 points of contact to have good balance, and he's up on. And you're looking, Conor, let go of it. You don't have anything. Yeah, all of that smart fighting by Dustin.
I disagree for a second. Okay, and I'm not saying I understand what you're talking about. He had it. Had he committed and jumped to it, I'm not saying he would have finished it, but it would have been. But he hesitated for a second, and that gave Dustin the chance to jump his body over, get fence side, and start walking his legs up the fence to get away from it. And that's really what got away from him.
What you're saying is he had the opportunity of getting it,
and it was a really good opportunity.
He let it go by.
He didn't let it go by. He second-guessed himself.
He
second-guessed himself.
He hesitated.
And he said, you know what? Yeah, there was a hesitation because he just, like I said, more of the inactivity of not being available to training with the guys that he's been used to training with. Him not doing his camp at SPG and him being around John Kavanaugh and him being around Kiefer Crosby and all those guys, it makes a difference.
I think it
makes
does.
a difference on you have your clique that you train with your whole career, and all of a sudden now you don't have them and you're flying guys in that are not the level of you, or they are the level of you, but they're catering around you because they don't want to hurt you or whatever it is. But you're not living the lifestyle that you used to live when you were slumming it. It's just different. And like I've said forever, I don't know why the fuck he's still fighting. The guy he's worth $400 million. Let that just right off into the sunset, my friend. Just go on, do your business deals, move on. Like, I would respect you more if you just bounced right now out of the sport and be like, hey, it just wasn't my night. I'm out of here. I'm going to ride off. I'm going to keep signing these checks and just do what I'm doing. Like, that to me is like, you've done everything. Here's the thing. Every fighter, Dustin Poirier being included, every single fighter needs to thank him for what he's done for the sport. Absolutely. Because all those guys are making these millions because he raised that bar.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. I don't care if you're a Conor fan or not. The reality of the fact is that he got that level of people getting paid higher. And the reason why, and when he got that level there, that means that guys like Dustin, guys like Khabib, guys like they could all now ask for all that money. Because before, Chuck Liddell was not making that kind of money. He was making good money.
Good money.
He was making we had the same manager. He was making great money, but he wasn't making $15, $18, $20 million at the UFC. That's the thing. So when those guys are champions multiple times, Chuck Liddell, you could say, was the face. I would say like he was the most someone that was the most.
He represented the company.
Yeah, he represented the company, but he was the most recognizable face, for the longest time in the company. And he still didn't make that kind of money. And so when I think about it, I'm like, these fighters, they got to stop spitting salt at him, and like being upset at the fact that he's got all this play and the way he is. I get the way he is, but it's no different than Chael's his shtick and like Colby's shtick. Like this is what gets them notoriety. This is what makes them money with their sponsors. This is what's going to make them more money, for bigger paydays. I'm not mad at him for that. They shouldn't be mad at him. These fighters owe him a little bit of a tip of the hat and saying, hey, thank you. Because you guys are all getting paid more money because of him.
I agree.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. He came in and he changed the status quo of what was going on for fighters. And he actually took some control, a control that no other fighter was able to attain, at that level. So you got to give it to him. And every fighter that was able to fight him, they got pulled into that realm where they got paid more for the fight against Conor than they did against anybody else. And
well, that's why Dustin took this fight versus fighting for the title.
Yes, I told you it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You thought he should have gone after Oliveira.
Calm down. I thought he should have went after the title, and then Conor would have still chased him to fight for the title anyways. So he would have made double the money. He would have been the champion and still fought Conor. But also, I also feel that Charles or Chandler, whoever would have fought Dustin for the title, was a more dangerous fight than Conor. Okay. So it's kind of a catch-22. Yeah. Fight Conor, which is not saying the easy fight, but you've already fought him twice. You know him a lot better than you know Chandler and you know Oliveira. Yeah. So it's always easier. I feel, you've done it. It's always easier to fight somebody you've already fought twice. You have an understanding of how good they are, how much power they have, how fast they are. You figure out their game. Yep. Yeah, little tendencies.
Yep. I agree.
Overall, I thought it's just unfortunate. I want to, you wish Conor a speedy recovery. I hope he rides off into the sunset and never fights again. If he does come back to fight again, I hope I don't see him fight Dustin. I think the ship sailed. It's done. It's over. Done. Yeah. I think he should be done based off of his leg, the breaking the way it was. If he is to come back, the only fight that I really want to see him fight is Nate Diaz. That's it. I don't want to see him fight anybody else. I want another trilogy fight. That's it. Nate Diaz, big money fight, done deal. Okay. Bounce. After you fight Nate, win or lose, get out.
I kind of like that. Yeah, I think it's the right fight, and that fight makes sense in so many ways. But it's going to be a while off now because of that break.
At least a year.
Oh yeah, he's gone until 2022. If he decides to come back, and if he does, good for him. But I think the Nate Diaz would be the perfect fight. So
I agree. All right.
It was fun Thompson. For a round.
It was. It was good. It was fun.
It was.
Stephen Thompson and Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, my man Gilbert Burns. I love both of these guys. So I had Gilbert he took some of the advice that we kind of gave him with Raymond Daniels, and I think that did help him. It helped him in at least understanding some of the style and the philosophy behind what Stephen Thompson does and stuff. I think that helped him in understanding when he could get into the legs. I thought he was smart in getting into him in the beginning. I know as soon as the fight hit the ground, you probably thought it's over, done, but it's Stephen did a good job overall in that. I thought it was 29-28 was fair. I actually kind of thought that Gilbert, although Stephen was winning that second round, he almost came back, and they had that little Don Fry Takayama moment against the fence. They're sitting there both jackhammering I love that. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed the fight. I thought overall it was a well played out fight by both guys, both trying to do what they're best at. I thought, overall, Stephen Thompson wasn't able to control the cage as much as he needed to against Gilbert. When Gilbert was able to get into him, for the most part, I've never seen anybody be able to take Stephen Thompson down as well as Gilbert Burns did in this fight. And you got to give it to Gilbert. Stephen's fought a lot of great wrestlers. They were not able to take Stephen down. Gilbert did it successfully numerous times, and that was the difference in the fight.
Yeah, I felt that the only thing that kept Stephen out from winning this fight, I mean, sure, the takedowns were there, but just the inactivity. In terms of he didn't throw enough. He didn't make Gilbert guess enough. If he would have just kept the side kick going, whether to the hip, to the thigh, or to the face, whatever it was, right? Keep him at range with the side kick and then set up the right hook, left, straight left, whatever it was. He just wasn't active enough. So Gilbert, he was real hesitant to go in, so he was waiting for Stephen Thompson to react. But if Stephen Thompson's obviously at that level of where he is in kickboxing, he wasn't reacting. He wasn't over flinching. He wasn't doing the things that Gilbert needed him to do. That's why Gilbert's shots were from 6 feet away. I mean, but the fight itself, I thought was a great fight. But Stephen needs to be a little bit more he need to have more activity to make him respect not jumping in. He jumped in from 5-6 feet away on the takedown, jumped on the leg, got to the leg. Sometimes he got away, sometimes he didn't. But he didn't get away when the fight was on the line, and that's what cost him the fight.
Yeah. Well,
so
I can't blame Stephen for his inactivity. He had the fight with Jeff Neal. You know, there was some damage off of that fight. You know, but you know, he told us he was ready to come back and stuff. There's not a whole lot of guys that want to take him on because he's dangerous. In the stand-up, he is someone that you just don't see a lot. If you're a grappler and people don't realize it, you know, with his hands down as much as he leaves them down, a lot of people look and go, "Oh, that's crazy." It sure makes getting a takedown on him tough because his hands are down there to defend it. He gets the underhooks. He's able to fight it off. So he's a handful. But I thought it was a fun fight. I thought Gilbert Burns really did a good job. I know there were some people complaining about the shots at the end of the fight and stuff, and you look and go, yeah, a couple of them were a little bit off. You know, it's not enough for a DQ, and it shouldn't have changed the fight.
No.
The fight was over, and Gilbert deserved to win that fight. So.
Yeah, it was close. I like both guys. I like both of them a lot.
Yep.
Stephen he lost the takedowns when the fight was on the line, and that's really what it came down to. The inactivity of the striking, he needed to be more active to make him respect him more. Yeah. So he wasn't shooting in from, I call it raw dog, from 6 feet away and getting to the leg. I mean, those type of things. It just, as a fighter, just be more active. And at 37 years old, that was your last run. Done. Yeah. There's no way they're going to give you another run. I could see them trying to match him up against Leon because they don't like Leon either. But I don't think if Leon's like, why would I fight someone who's coming off of a loss? You know, and it gets
I don't blame him.
Yeah, why would I fight someone who's coming off a loss? But the thing is, you're going to be on the sideline because they're going to give the next fight. They're not going to give the next title shot to Gilbert Burns. But Leon's in that mix of like, he's in that limbo. They're going to want to see him fight somebody else that looks more impressive, that had a better performance against than you did against Nate Diaz.
Yeah, possibly, but you know, you're stuck in that realm of, you got Colby who's going to get the shot. You know, George is out of the picture basically as far as title contention. He's got 2 losses against Usman. That's not going to happen. You got Leon Edwards as the only guy who's sitting there on a big win streak. He's had a fight against Usman. He lost it, but it was a close fight. It went to a decision. And so he's the real guy if you're looking right now. I agree. I didn't think that the fight with Nate was enough as far as the way that it finished, that they would want to put him next in line. But with this loss to Burns with Thomson, it kind of took away one of their options. So we'll see what they do.
Well, you can have Gilbert and you could have Leon. They're both coming off wins. The winner of that fight's maybe next in line.
Yeah,
but the problem is if Gilbert wins and he ends up fighting Usman again if Colby loses to him. So then that doesn't work either. So it's a shitty situation to be in, I think, for the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll see how it all plays out. I mean, I think they're going to try to probably give him Gilbert next, Leon. He said, hey, if you beat number 2, you can't be denied.
Yeah.
Because Colby's fighting next. If you beat number 2, which is Gilbert, but if you lose to him, then what do you do?
Yep.
You're stuck. You know, what does UFC do, I should say?
But Leon can't complain if he's fighting.
No.
If they're giving him a guy
who's
ranked above.
Yep, can't complain. What was the next fight below that?
Oh, come on. Greg Hardy against Tai Tuivasa.
Love
me some Shoey, baby.
Jeez, man. It's fucking disgusting. So gross. Brandon pulled me up his, I guess he had Tuivasa on his show on Below the Belt. And they did the Shoey on the thing. But I didn't know they fucking spit in the shoe before they drink it.
Yeah. That ends it right there for me.
No, there was 3 of them that all spit in the shoe. And
Good,
they
I'm glad they did. That was the end for me.
Brandon showed the video of him doing it. He's like, I fucking almost threw up in my mouth right there.
It's like swapping spit with Schaub.
No, it's not like swapping spit. It is swapping spit. It's not like swapping spit. Oh,
that's disgusting.
Fucking gross. I was like, I can't believe. Serious? I said, wait, you spit? He's like, no, that's what they do. I'm like, no, that's not what they do. No, look, see, watch. No, that's what you did. That's not what they do. That's what you did. I thought they just poured a beer in the thing and
into a shoe and drink it.
Who? No way. Oh man, Brendan. I was like, geez, threw up in my mouth.
That was nasty. But it was a beautiful, beautiful little exchange. Ty got hurt. Greg goes after him, and right away makes a big mistake, and Ty catches him. Left hand, one big hammer fist, and Greg Hardy was done. That's heavyweight. That's what they wanted too.
But that's brilliant planning, by the way, by the UFC.
Absolutely.
To have the heavyweights kind of lead into the co-main and the main event. Yeah. But I also thought that the inexperience, the fight IQ is what Greg Hardy lacked. Obviously, he rocked him, just stalk him a little bit and throw big punches and get him out of there. Nope. He rushed in, got into an exchange, got clipped. It happens, especially with heavyweights. That's when it happens the most. Guys think they got you rocked, and boom, a la Czech Congo, Pat Barry.
Well, they do have him rocked. You know, he was rocked.
He had him rocked.
But he's still dangerous.
Yeah, he is. So. Yep. That's the thing with heavyweights, man. It doesn't take much. Catch him behind the ear, catch him on the temple, slightly of the chin. It doesn't matter. The weight behind those punches is just nasty.
Well, and I tried to give everyone an idea of it. It's a matter of, like, all human beings are basically, like, we're put together the same way. We're wired in close to the same fashion, all of us. And when you're talking about, well, why is it that, heavyweights have, knockouts? Just because you're heavier in weight, yes, you can take a little bit more damage, a little bit more, punishment, but the amount of weight in the punch that they're landing comparatively, their body can't take it any more than the smaller person's.
Yeah.
And you're going to go out. You can only take so much torque, so much velocity. And you put that kind of weight behind a shot, especially, and when you're coming forward too, because Greg Hardy was kind of coming forward as he got himself out of position, and that punch is coming. He's kind of moving right into it. Just adds a little bit of more force. Not a good place to be.
It's just the punches you don't see.
You
could tell he didn't see it because he was offline, and Tui hit him, boom, just perfect, right on the button as he stepped in. He didn't see it coming.
Nope.
Those are the ones that hurt you the most.
Yep.
What was the next fight on there, Dave?
The Aldana and Kunitskaya.
Yeah, Aldana just looked like a salve. She just
smoked.
Yeah. The Russian girl kept trying to come forward. I don't want to butcher her name. That's why I'm not saying her name. But
Kunitskaya.
Kunitskaya. She was doing well. She had a lot of output, but she was missing and getting pieced.
I was going to say she had volume that she's throwing, but it was not landing well.
It wasn't landing well at all. There's no respect out there. She was getting landed, but she once her nose got bloody, you could tell she started just jumping in more, almost like just desperate. She started getting teed up even more, so it was worse for her.
Aldana's got good hands. That left hook she landed was beautiful.
Yeah, the other girl though, she's better looking. When I saw, don't get me wrong, actually Aldana, she's pretty cute too. But I'm just saying, in terms, it was just funny to see. I was like, damn. No, anyways. That's just me being.
No, that is exactly what you were thinking.
That's exactly what I was saying. I got to just let you guys know. All
right, let's talk about the start of the main card. Sean O'Malley against Kris Moutinho, who was brought in. This was the battle of the worst hair dyes of all time. Okay, that's the way I looked at it. Both of these guys, someone dyed their hair that was blind. Both of them, because Sean O'Malley's was an ugly purpley gray, just nasty, and green for Kris. But what a fight.
Yeah.
Got to give it to Kris.
Yeah, I think Kris, he showed that he is tough. He shows I thought it was a horrible stoppage. I'm not saying that he would have won. I'm not saying he would have won the fight.
Wasn't going to win.
But the thing is, what he wanted exchanges.
Yes.
And right at that moment, he was getting one with the potential of something great happening. You don't know. I'm not saying that it would have happened, but I'm saying that the chances of it happening were a lot more likely than him and then Sean O'Malley running around and escaping out the whole fight. He finally got Sean O'Malley to stand in front of him in the last 30 seconds and exchange punches, and Herb Dean stops the fight. Horrible stoppage. I know I give Herb a hard time, but in these situations, I understand. He's taken a lot of damage throughout the fight, but it was a bad stoppage. This is what the kid had been waiting for the whole time, is for Sean O'Malley to stand in the pocket and exchange with him. because he couldn't catch him. He was too long. Sean O'Malley was too long, too fast, too accurate, all those things. He finally got him there, and the ref stopped the fight. Bad stoppage.
You really think it was a bad stoppage?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, and this is why. Well, and I want everyone to understand how this goes, because you have to understand the position that Herb's in, because Herb's got a guy that's taking a ton of damage, and Kris was tough, really tough, okay, throughout the entire fight, but he was just taking shot after shot. There was times that O'Malley was on 100% hit rate. I mean, he couldn't miss in some of them. And, at the end of the first round, Kris was not looking too good. At the end of the second round, he was all right, but he was more lumped up because it was just more damage he had taken. But he had taken a lot of shots. So what happens is, you're responsible for the fighter. So what, and this I've done this too many times. You're looking at a fighter that you're saying, all right, he's lost 2 rounds and he's lost them pretty badly. Okay. So now that he's coming into the third round, all right, we're going to see how he starts this third round. Is he changing anything that's happening? Is he going to do anything differently? And then we see that no, nothing's really changing as far as he's still coming forward. He's still tough as hell, but he's still taking a lot of shots. And now his offense is kind of slowing down a little bit because he's not able to get into range, and he's just taking the shots and not delivering anything back a whole lot. So then you start looking and saying, okay, does he have a submitter's chance? Does he have a chance of getting a submission, getting this guy to the ground, getting a submission? No, that's not his game. That's not what's going to happen. All right, so he doesn't have a submitter's chance. Does he have a puncher's chance? Well, a little bit. Okay, can he win on the cards? No way. That's not going to happen. All right, he's lost the first 2, and he's definitely losing this third one. All right, I'm going to look for a place to get him out of this fight if it happens. Okay, meaning that I'm not going to sit there and give him a long leash if he gets hit with a big shot and he goes down. I'm not going to sit there and let him take a bunch of shots trying to get himself back out. I'm going to get him out of the fight because he's not going to win the fight, and I don't want him to accept more damage. That's the kind of position that Herb was in. Here's the problem, and this is why I say I agree with you on it wasn't a good stoppage, in the fact that didn't happen. Yes, he was taking shots, but he was actually coming forward and actually trying to throw shots when Herb stopped the fight. And you got to look, and there was less than 30 seconds left in the fight. Now, Herb doesn't know the time. I'm not saying he does, and so that's okay. But he had not been knocked down. He had not been stunned and wobbled, and he was in that position where he was now having to, give ground and get away from Sean as Sean's hunting him down. None of those things had happened. And so in this position, Herb's got to wait. You are looking for that moment that you can get him out of the fight, but you can't create the moment. That moment is not for you to create, because there's this old saying, and it's wrong, and that, the fighter deserved to finish the fight. Okay? Most of the time that statement is wrong. A fighter earns the right to finish the fight. And from what I was seeing from Kris, he was earning that right throughout. He had never lost that right to not finish the fight.
Yeah.
I kind of thought he should have been allowed to go on, because yes, he was being hurt, but he wasn't in that position where you could pull him out, and it was just not taking him out of a fight, because he was trying to hunt down, Sean O'Malley. He was trying to get inside. He was trying to land shots. And when the fight was stopped, he was throwing. You got to let him go.
Yep. I also look at it too, like, I agree with everything you just said. I think Kris deserves the right to keep going anyways, and it should not have been stopped at that time. I've said that already. But the biggest thing is that if you are the UFC, you brought Kris in to be a highlight reel knockout, and that didn't happen.
No,
now,
but you got a highlight reel.
O'Malley? You did, but it wasn't. But it
was from the wrong guy.
Yeah, it just was one of those things. I thought Kris looked fabulous. If all he had to do is have more output. I'm not saying he's going to be the next world beater. I'm not saying that Kris is going to he's going to come in and make a splash in the UFC. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying he earned another shot to have another fight in the UFC. I think that. Coming in on a short notice, having the fight that he had against someone who's highly touted, someone who's not in the top 15, by the way. I'm sitting here with Cody Garbrandt, and apparently we couldn't hear it, but he called out Cody. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're sitting there going like, oh, he's calling Cody out. We didn't hear it. We didn't realize that he had really called out Cody until someone had hit up in the comment section that he had called out Cody. And Cody and I, we were all just talking about how I was like, Cody, you shouldn't take that fight. Like, he's like, what if he calls you out? And he was like, well, I said, you've worked this hard to get to this point. He's trying to jump the line by fighting you. He's like, yeah, but I can beat him. I know, probably you can, but it only takes one shot. And here's the other thing. I love me some Cody Garbrandt. I love the way he fights. The problem, though, is that Sean's someone that could get underneath Cody's skin. And he's been proven to show that he does not know how to keep his temper under wraps when he fights. So he's got to keep that in check. If he can keep it in check, which I think he can now under Mark Henry, but if he can't keep it in check, it could be a horrible night for him against someone who's not even in the top 15 when he's already scheduled to fight Kai Kara-France at 125. And if he wins that fight, Kai Kara-France ranked number 6, if he wins that fight, he gets a title shot at 125. What would you do? I would lean more towards fighting Kai Kara-France going to 125, or just stay at 135 where you're at, but don't fight Sean O'Malley. Everyone's like, oh, Brendan and Martin were like saying, yeah, he's a big money fight.
No, he's
is
not.
It really a big? He's not a big. They think he is because he's a star. But yeah, but is UFC going to pay you big money fight to fight him? He's not ranked in the top 15. It's not going. Like Cody's already a bigger name than him, but is he going to get paid to fight a bigger name? If he was like a Nate Diaz, then I'd say okay. But I don't know. He's not going to make that type of money.
But right now, Cody's ranked 5th at 135.
Yeah, at 135.
Yeah,
Why would you
135.
fight someone who's not even in the 15? Look, we had that battle out over here. They think because, the casual fans know who Sean O'Malley is, that's going to bring more notoriety to Cody. And Cody, if you think about it, stylistically, I think for Cody, it's a tough fight, but I think Cody's faster, but just Cody's not as long. Cody's got heavier hands, as we've seen. Cody's got way heavier hands because tonight Sean O'Malley couldn't knock anything out. It was just one of those fights where Sean O'Malley has no power. Sure, he's got the stiff jab, he's got the stiff push kick, all those things, the tip kick, all that stuff. But if Cody touches you, I think Cody's faster. Cody's gonna have a hard time getting in, but Cody's got bigger power. I think Cody's got better wrestling. I'm not saying Cody should take him down because it will slow him down and make him more tired as the fight goes on. But you got to threaten those takedowns. I just don't think that it's a good fight for him. In terms of, there's nothing really to gain. Sure, you beat a guy named Sean O'Malley. Okay.
Well, first off, it doesn't make sense if you're looking and saying, okay, I can fight Sean O'Malley at 135, and that's not going to move me one step closer to a championship fight. Or I could fight Kai Kara-France at 125, and if I win that, I get a championship fight. There's your answer.
Well, here's the other thing. He's ranked number 5, right? Is he ranked number 5?
Yep. In
Cody Garbrandt. So I guess, look, the way that Brendan and Martin were trying to talk about is like, well, if I fight him, that should guarantee me a title shot. He's not in the top 15. How are you going to get a title shot out of that?
You're not.
Now, if Ali, his manager, Cody's manager, if he can get him a title shot off of fighting Sean O'Malley, then okay, go right ahead. If you don't have to cut weight, if you don't have to get down to 125, you can just stay at 35 and fight Sean O'Malley. And if you win, you get a title shot.
Yeah.
I'm on board. I'm on board. Because honestly, when I was talking with Cody tonight, he's like, look, I walk around 147. He's like, the week of the fight, he's like, I really just stop. I don't eat for a day. He's like, I just sit in the salt bath for a half a day. He's like, and I'm on weight. So I get it. And I said, well, honestly, that's probably the best thing that's ever happened to you because your performances have been great. You just, in terms of way I'm talking to you guys, I didn't tell him this because I don't want to beat me up. But it was basically you just got to dial down the temper. If you dial down the temper and you just use your brain, which you can, your fight IQ, you're a fucking stud, man. He's an absolute fucking stud. So if he can do that, I think Cody just walks right through Sean O'Malley. He just got to make sure that Sean O'Malley doesn't get underneath the skin. Because when you're fighting someone who you know is not supposed to be on your level and they start touching you, you get more and more frustrated as the fight goes on. And you start reaching and lunging. You start trying to knock him out, and it ends up being this fight that you didn't prepare for. And it's not the fight you want to be in. And so that's what concerns me, you know. And Cody's worked so hard to get to that position, and then now you have Sean O'Malley trying to jump the line to get to him. I mean, I get it. I understand. But you can't bite at all those little sheep at the bottom trying to nip at your heels. So, look, I like Sean O'Malley. I just think that he's got to work his way up because we started going through that 135-pound weight class. Fuck, there's fucking a ton of guys in there
dude,
that I don't think he can beat.
It's a
you think he beats Jimmy
row.
Rivera? You think he beats Jimmy Rivera? I don't think
He'd
so.
be lucky to.
Do you think he beats Dominic Cruz?
Nope.
Yeah, I think Dom may be the only one.
I don't think so.
The only reason why I say him is I think it's a hard fight for him. I'm not saying that. I just think Dom is we're just getting older. That's it. It has nothing to do with Dom being it. Dom's fucking phenomenal. You can't take away from everything he's done in the sport. But Dom slowing down a little bit and getting a little bit older. Dom had a hard time with that Casey Kenny guy. It wasn't a hard time, but it wasn't the fight that you would have wanted for him to be like to show that he's still a top guy. You know, it's just he's just slowing down. It's just age. Father time. There's nothing he can do about it. He can just keep trying to get better every day.
But that's why you put Dom against Frankie Edgar and Dom against Aldo, and that's the fights for
Dom and Aldo
right now.
Dom and Frankie Edgar. Those are the fights to make right now. Yep. What other fights on there? So I missed some of the fights. You missed the Uriah Hall fight because your ESPN went down on the East Coast.
Uriah Hall didn't fight. What are you talking
Or
about?
not Uriah Hall. Sorry.
Ryan Hall? No, I saw the Ryan Hall fight.
Uriah Hall fight, sorry.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, so Uriah Hall, I heard he got destroyed. I missed it because I was driving to the studio here. So
just destroyed. You know, Max Griffin fought Carlos Condit. Max, man, I'll tell you what, that first round, he was lighting Carlos up with the leg kicks and everything, but he went away from it.
Yeah.
After he dominated the first round and kind of really just changed the style in the second and third round. I was like, why did he go so much away? Now, obviously, he's feeling stuff, and he knows that, you know, maybe hurt his foot, hurt his ankle, or hurt his shin. Something could have happened on one of the kicks that we don't know. But man, he was so effective in the beginning of that fight. He had Carlos off balance. He had him confused. He had him frustrated, and he was just looking really good. But overall, you know, he definitely won the fight. But it was a good display. Good display of kind of taking. I hate to say, taking the pelt off of the veteran and getting that name on the list. It's a good thing for Max. I felt, that Carlos performed well. It just he couldn't perform good enough to get a win against Max Griffin.
Where does Carlos go from here?
That's a good question. It's unfortunately, if you're looking, he's in that gatekeeper position now. He really is, and it's unfortunate when I say that because his wins, he beat Court McGee and he beat Matt Brown, but those are guys that are on their way out too. Those are older guys and they're slowing down a little bit. And then, not that Max is real young, but Max started late, so he doesn't have the miles on him the same way. And so just the difference in speed is a little bit there. And when you're talking about, can Carlos still compete? He can still compete, but I don't think he can compete against the younger, faster guys now.
And that's the problem when you're fighting when you're 170, 155, 145, 35, 20, once the speed starts to go, it's hard to keep up with the younger guys. Now, like you said, Max is not the fastest, he's not the youngest of guys, but like you said, the miles add up, like the explosiveness, the daily routine of training. Speed is one of those things you have to train on a daily basis, whether it's footwork, whether it's hand speed, all those things. Fighters get away from it and they start just hitting mitts only or hitting bag work. You've got to make sure that you stay. Are you drinking a fucking Monster at midnight? Are you kidding me?
You're not the boss of me.
Jeez. Oh man, that's crazy. You know, so you've got to train that hand speed. You've got to train the footwork. You've got to do all those things. And fighters over the years, we get away from it. We just do bag work. We just do mitt work. We just go in there and we play spar. And there's no speed emphasis in terms of keeping your speed up the track. Jumping rope, all that stuff. Those are all foot drills. Those are all things that are very important and key to keeping your speed, especially if you're fighting the lighter weight classes. And they tend to get away from it, and you can see the difference. Max is someone who, I mean, he looks like Josh was the faster fighter. Yeah. He was just someone that you could tell the miles weren't on there and the speed was still there. Whereas Carlos fell into this rhythm of how he trained probably and just did the drills. And I've always felt this way in terms of athletes. Fighters, when we come in, right, we're so good, so explosive in all these things. Because when we were kids, or even right before we started fighting, we played football, we played basketball, we played baseball, we ran, whatever it was, we were out there running around doing all these other activities. But then once we decided to become a professional fighter, our whole focus was on that. And we lost a little bit of our athleticism because we only focused on that one thing. We didn't know how to play, like the footwork that came with football, the movement and the stop and go of basketball, playing tennis, the back and forth, left to right, reaching the overhands, all that stuff. Those are all things that make you athletes. So in being a fighter, you're just really limit yourself to punch, kick, wrestle, control top position, high guard. Like it stays the same thing. You've got to get out. Like if you are someone, like I think this is a big reason when I look at the people, the fighters from Dagestan, because they are kids to me. But when I look at the fighters from Dagestan, a lot of them, their training sometimes is playing soccer or playing that basketball, but it's not basketball. It's like tackle ball. Like it's like basketball with wrestling, but that's what they do. It keeps their athleticism and what they do in other areas that they wouldn't normally work on just because they're just strictly wrestling. They play soccer, they play football, they play basketball. It's not really basketball, it's something else, but you know what I mean? And I feel like that's why a lot of them still keep a lot of their athleticism in the game for so long. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm overthinking it or whatever, but that's the way I feel about it.
I can see exactly what you're saying. All right, in the middle of this, we're going to talk about one of our sponsors, Fume. I love my Fume. I got my little container here. It's perfect. Got my little thing here. It's got a core inside it. You see the core? This thing's awesome. Very nice as far as it's all natural. It takes care of a lot of people's hand-to-mouth habits that they have. If you have nicotine cravings or menthol cravings or you have a problem with smoking, this is a great way of getting rid of that smoking problem. They can take the habit. They have different types of oil-based cores. These are all essential oils, and what they do is they replace that craving. You can just take this. You can put it on a plane. You can even use it on the plane. Use it anytime. I use it almost like I used to use gum. Now I just use this. I would always chew gum all the time. Now I just put this in here. They've got black pepper. They've got lavender, peppermint, all kinds of different things. Conquer, which is your ability to conquer smoking and get yourself out of that nasty habit so you can quit naturally using the Fume method. I love this thing. Make sure that when you go to Breathe Fume, Fume is F-U-M. Do not put an E on the end of it. And use the code weighing in for a 10% off on your purchase. You can get all of these cores. This is peppermint right here. I love the peppermint. It tastes really good to me. It gives you that good flow, almost like that mentholyptus. Yes, remember that mentholyptus your mom used to put on you and you could feel it in your nose? That's what I love about this thing. It's
like when you first put in that first stick of gum, right? And you chew on it the first, say, 20 chews, right? Your nasal cavity starts to clear out. You go ahead and take that. And then what I like is that it's all the essential oils. So actually it's helped for me a lot with my nasal stuff because I have a really jacked up nose. I've got cauliflower on one side. I've got a collapsed
deviated septum
on the other, deviated septum on the other side. So for me, it actually helps a lot with that as well. So I actually keep it in my car because I'm in my car a lot everywhere I drive. So I just constantly just hit on it. Nothing. There's no smoke. There's no fumes, even though it is fume, but there is no fumes that really come out. So it works.
No
I feel like
vape?
it works really well. It stops me from doing the like I have to clear my throat all the time. I hate that. It drives me crazy that I have to do that from all the years of fighting, from being choked, from being punched in the nose, all these things. So it's actually helped a lot. So yeah, like he was saying, is go to Breathe Fume and use the promo code Wayne in, get the extra 10% off. So hopefully you guys check it out. The lime cherry, I think is lime cherry. I use that one, and I use the Invigorate. That one's good as well.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I love the thing. So people try it. It's actually something I actually believe in, and I really like it, and I use it myself. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
And then also go to mybookie.com, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Wayne in there as well. And if you guys listened to us earlier in the week, you guys would have made some money on tonight's fights. We told you guys who to pick. You guys should have listened. You guys would have cashed in. Hello, thank us later. I want 10%.
10%. That's what you always want.
Yep. Use the promo code Wayne in. Also, the finals of basketball is in play right now. Hockey is over. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won again.
All of Canada is crying.
It's okay.
It's okay, Canada. You don't have to cry.
Yeah,
and the best part is
go.
TSN up there. They'll still talk about hockey all the time, anyways. That's all they talk
Yeah,
about.
go USA. Oh man. All right. Well, what else we got there?
Anything on the earlier card that you want to talk about? There was. Did you see the first fight of the night with I don't even want to say his name. It's
The kid
Zugmalayev.
from Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Great guillotine.
Jesus. I hate
Absolute
you.
great guillotine.
You're an idiot. Guillotine. That is
Whatever.
not a guillotine.
It was a rear naked choke.
It's not. It's called a front naked choke. A front choke. If someone wants to say a standing ninja choke, okay.
Hey.
But it's not a guillotine.
John, I called it a rear naked. I called it a guillotine. You got your arms all thrown in the air. Oh, it's not. You said it's a front naked choke. Whatever. You know what? Guess what? At the end of the day, it's a fucking choke. Okay, let's just call it like it is. It's a choke.
Okay, so we should call everything just. Oh, that's a choke.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that.
Okay,
actually.
you do that because your arm. I can really start getting on you right now, but I won't.
It's a front naked choke.
Okay, there you go. All right, let's talk about one more thing here. We had Mikel. I know they say Michelle, but I say Michel Pereira against Nico Price. Did you watch that fight?
Yes, I caught bits and pieces of it because we were trying to get everything set up here. But yes, what a fight! What a fight!
Okay, why is it that a referee cannot figure out when a guy does a backflip and kicks his opponent who's on the ground in the head? That's illegal. What the hell is wrong with people?
John, that's your department, my friend. Why don't
Jesus
you break
Christ.
it down for us?
Unbelievable. Look, first off, people need to understand. Anytime and I've said this about Pereira before, he's a phenomenal athlete, a great fighter. He's fun to watch, and he does the stupidest things inside a cage that you could ever do.
I love it though.
Unbelievable. Do people realize, or do even referees realize, when a guy is on the ground, such as Nico Price was, you cannot stomp on him in any fashion. You can't even stomp his foot. That's illegal. Where foot stomps are illegal, if he's standing, once he hits the ground, you can't stomp on anything. All right, so if he lands and he lands flat on top of the fighter who's on the ground, it's a stomp. It's illegal. So it's a stupid maneuver anyways. And in this one, no, he didn't. He didn't land with his foot flat. He landed with his foot hitting the head of Nico Price, which is kicking the head of a grounded fighter. But we don't call that because we're so caught up into, ooh, he did a backflip. Dumb move. Unbelievable that it wasn't called again. I just don't understand what the hell are they looking at. Crazy.
This is the Nevada State Athletic Commission, correct?
Yes, it was.
John, have we not had these conversations with them? We've sat in meetings with these people and been like, hey, come on, let's figure this stuff out.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man. But overall, it was a great fight.
It was.
Pereira's
It was a
nuts.
great fight.
Nico Price is a dog.
Nico Price is a tough bastard. I love it. My youngest son was sitting there watching fights, and he goes, who's going to win this fight? And I go, oh, man. I said, well, look, Pereira is just an athlete. He's fast. He's crazy. He does weird things. I go, Nico Price is just a junkyard dog. I know I say that all the time because I love junkyard dogs. Are not pretty, but, man, they are just tough, and they don't give up. and that's Nico Price. And I said, if it goes to the third round, he's got a chance. He's got to get it to the third round. And he's getting it to the third round. And again, he gets hit to the nuts. All right. He's trying to get the fight going. And Mark Smith is trying to slow him down. And he's like, he doesn't want to slow down because he knows the guy's tired. This is my way of winning. And it's like, it was almost like a comedy of errors. This is crazy, but I love Nico Price. Nico, yeah, he won the first 2 rounds. You definitely won the third round. You were going to get him. If there was a fourth round, it's your fight. Yeah. But love the way that you went after him, man.
Well, just for all the people that listen to our show, know you guys love when I say this. He's tall, long, and lanky. So that's the thing. He's huge for the weight. I have no idea how he makes the weight. He's enormous. But that also, it also shows that he slows down as the fight goes on. But it could be because he does all the stupid, crazy shit as well, though. Like, you do things like that, it's a lot of energy out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and if it doesn't land, it's wasted energy, you know? So if you land a little bit, sure, it makes you feel better about it. But, you know, if it doesn't finish the person, it's just wasted energy.
You know what's funny is his last 2 fights before this, when it was not in front of crowds, he kind of cut all that down. Got back in front of the crowd. Guess what happens? We're bringing that back out. We're doing it again, so...
Well, we're starting to realize, I think, across the board that the fans do make a huge difference.
They
Not
do.
just in terms of, you know, pay, but I mean, it also just makes a difference in terms of keeping the fighters interested in the game. I mean, we've seen a lack of, I think across the board, there's been a couple standout fights. There's been, you know, we could probably list, I'd say 10, maybe 15 fights over the year and a half. They were fucking phenomenal fights with no fans.
Oh my God, there was some
But
fantastic
then we look at all the other fights, like you said with Bahia, he's had a couple of his last fights. It's just, they weren't up to the standard of excitement that he normally provides. And that could be across the board for all the other fighters. You know, so I think fans do make a huge difference in terms of the activity of what happens in the cage. So I'm glad that they're finally starting to come back.
It's nice. Overall,
what else you got?
Good. I'm good. I thought the actual show overall, I thought this card was a good card. I thought the fighters for the most part really fought well. And the only part that was unfortunate was the way that the main event ended with the broken leg part for Conor and stuff, but that stuff happens.
Let me go back into the Conor thing real quick. Does he ride off into the sunset?
I don't think so.
And then that's
No.
one. And then
It's
two
not his
is
mentality.
And then 2 is this for me. I thought he, even at the very end, he just went overboard with your wife was in my DM.
It was horrible.
And I'm like,
horrible.
You sound bitter.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand you lost. I understand it's something that you had no control over, the leg kick, whatever. If you checked, I don't even know. Okay, but regardless, your ankle's broken. Your leg is broken. And both bones are broken, by the way, not one.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you spout that off and you yell, it just, you should have just said, hey, you know what? Yeah, and here's the thing. He's better than that.
Yes.
But he's proven this in time. Yeah. But he's proven this in times like this that it's just, it's not, he doesn't know how to make that adjustment. And it's sad to see because you know someone that's worked hard to get there. He knows what the other fighters have been through and what they're going through to make money. And to say the things that he's doing, I get it to build up the fight. But now that we're past that, the fight's over. You broke your leg. It's done. We'll see you in a year. There was no room for that. And I got to tell you, like, it just, I lost a lot of respect.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I never had a ton of respect for him based on because Khabib's my teammate. And but I didn't mind him, like most people were like, they either love him or they hate him. And I was in the middle. Like, I don't know him. So I was really, I was always on Khabib's side, and, and all of the guys that I trained with was on their side, but this was one of those things. The altercation with Khabib and the stuff he said about Khabib's wife, that really bothered me a lot. But then to get into this though, too, like, you lost and you're still saying these things. I saw a little bit of a turn, like, when he sent out the well wishes, when Khabib's dad died, when, there was some other stuff he had sent out messages saying, hey, I want to wish you guys the best, like, about us. And so I was like, okay, he's turning around a little bit, whatever it is. I believe people can change. But this tonight was, John, it was borderline, like, to me, it was just borderline disgusting.
Yeah.
It was sad to see like somebody at that level, that caliber of knowing that somebody that's worked that hard to get to that level to say shit like that as someone's walking out of the cage, you know, like, oh, your wife slid on my DM, she's in my DM, like, I don't know. It just was low level. It was upsetting kind of to see, no matter how much you like watching him fight or how much you respect his talent. That right there is the lowest grade of just, it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
I totally agree with you. I look at it and I go, it's super unnecessary, as George Masvidal would say. You know,
Yeah.
super unnecessary. There's just no reason. There's no place for
Well,
it.
he would say it's super necessary, but
Yeah, I know. That's why. But I got to give him credit. His is super necessary. I'm going super unnecessary.
Gotcha.
But it's a matter of, you know, it's I look and I go, I know you're disappointed. I know that this hurts. Not the ankle itself, not the leg itself that hurts, but the pain of the loss to this guy when you thought you're going to come out and, you know, get the win. I know it hurts, but you don't cross that line.
yeah.
And you crossed it for no reason. There was, it's not like you were being confronted. It's not like someone was jumping in and saying something and you needed to, you know, do something spiteful back. You just, in some way, felt like you had to win something, and that was your way of winning it, and it wasn't. It made your loss look even worse.
Yep.
And it was unfortunate because you're better than that.
It was
Super unnecessary.
I know Henry Cejudo is the king of cringe, but tonight
that
was
was cringeworthy.
Conor McGregor was the king of cringe.
Yeah, I agree.
It just, I was like, as soon as I heard that, I went, oof. Yeah. Anyways,
He'll regret it. You know, later on, he'll look at it and he'll go, that was a mistake. He may even apologize for it.
I hope
But
so.
so do
I
I.
do hope so.
So do
I
I.
do hope so. Because you got to think in terms of like, I look at like guys like Dustin Poirier, Frankie Edgar, guys that I know that have kids, and Conor's got kids. Do you want to look back and be like, show your kids what you said and what you did because you lost a fight? Because like I've said this forever, and I've said this when I was even 25, when I was fighting, I was, you know, no, in 10 years when you're done fighting, no one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna look back at the shit you did during there, but no one's gonna care about you and what you. Oh, you're Conor McGregor. It's gonna last for about 10 years, and it's done. It's done.
I say it all the
You know?
time. Look, if the worst thing in the world that happens to you is you lose a fight,
Yeah.
dude, you got a great life.
Yeah.
You know, so what, you lose a fight, it's no big deal. Trust me, I lost many things in my life, and it's like, you know, you learn to say, you put it in its proper perspective. As long as you go out and, you know, did Conor go out and perform to the best that he could, you know, in the moment? Yeah. You know, did his body kind of fail him at a certain point? Yeah, it did. But you were giving it everything you had. You can't ask for anything more. And the outcome just wasn't what you wanted. Okay. It's not the worst thing. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. You know, D is going to love you. Your kids are going to love you. Your parents are going to love you. Your friends are all going to love you. Nothing's going to change. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Exactly. You're still gonna be rich as fuck.
Yeah, there too. That's good too.
Yeah.
Even richer.
Yeah.
You're getting paid.
Yeah. Exactly. Dave, you got anything for us? News?
Yeah, you want to jump into some this year?
Yeah, let's jump into some news,
Go.
man.
All right, first piece is Hamza returning at UFC 267 against Li Jingliang.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the news. Hamza.
Good fight, man. That's a good fight. I think for his return fight, I think it's a good fight for him.
That is a good fight for him. But you notice that they did exactly what they needed to do in taking him out of the middleweight division. Since Luke Rockhold was calling him out, and they said, okay, we're going to put you in a completely different division. So it's not like we're putting somebody else. We're going to put you in the welterweights. And that's a good opponent. It's an opponent who's real aggressive, will come after him, and that's going to make him look good.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if he's going to be better at 70 or 85. I think he'll be better at 70. Sorry.
Oh, what are you doing?
I know. I think he'll be better at 70. He's long, tall, lanky. I mean, all the things that I say about top fighters in those weight classes. So he's, we're going to see. I wonder how he's going to recover in terms of his conditioning. After he had the COVID, he had a lot of lung problems, issues with, getting his breath. And I've heard that from a lot of athletes, that have tried to recover from COVID. They've had a hard time, being able to get their wind, to get in shape. So we'll see what happens. But I think overall it's a good fight.
Good fight for him.
Next piece is George Masvidal saying that he wants the winner of Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. So we obviously now know that that's Gilbert Burns. And Gilbert
Burns kind of called him out there.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing is, though, you got Leon there. And I think if they keep jumping around him, I think you either got to have Leon fight Masvidal or you got to have Leon fight Gilbert. I'm sorry, man. I love me some Masvidal, too. And everyone knows this, and I've said this for the last couple of months. Bro, I'm a Masvidal fan, Strikeforce, OG. I'm just going to keep going back to that. And I'm a ride or die for the old crew. Us old folks got to stick together, right, Big John?
Yes, sir.
Wink, 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 wink. You know what I mean? So, look, Masvidal's trying to jump the line. Very smart play. A brilliant idea. I think it's wonderful for him to try and do that. He's going to keep trying to do it, which is smart on his thing. But I want to see him, Masvidal and Leon, but Leon doesn't gain anything from him fighting Masvidal. I think Gilbert Burns and Leon fight next, and you have Masvidal fight someone else.
Well,
I don't know.
Guarantee you Masvidal will not fight Gilbert Burns. Even though Gilbert even kind of called his name out, that one is not going to happen. But you could see Masvidal against Stephen Thompson. That could happen because they're both coming off of losses. That's something that the UFC matchmakers like to do is put those guys that have good names coming off a loss. Someone's going to get a win. They like that. But I still say, if you're looking at Masvidal, Nick Diaz coming back, okay, if you're going to put him against Robbie Lawler, okay, he's pushed to the side. Then you've got Leon Edwards. They've already got history. There's already the situation in the back. That is a fight for him. And the last one is, okay, wait to see what happens with Colby Covington. Yep. But there's your other fight.
Yeah, I could see. It's funny you said that because I was thinking Stephen Thompson and Masvidal because they're both coming off losses. So one of them gets a win, they can start making their run back to the title. That's one. You've got Leon and Gilbert to see who fights next for the title. I don't know if they would offer that to Gilbert as much as they would offer it to Leon. So if you beat Gilbert, then go ahead. We'll put you against the winner of Colby and Usman. I don't think that they would do that for Burns. I could see maybe them making Burns wait to see if he fights the loser of Colby and Usman.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Colby and Burns fight. That'd be a great fight.
I think it would be a great fight.
What else you got for us, Dave?
The Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder trilogy fight is postponed because Fury tested positive for COVID.
Did Fury test positive or did people in his camp test positive?
It says Tyson Fury test positive.
From what I was told, Fury actually tested positive.
Got it. Okay, because I heard people in his camp had tested positive. They had a couple people through his camp test positive, but whatever. Regardless, fight's postponed till the end of August.
Yeah, I heard it was a month. I don't know what the date.
It must be August then.
Did they come up with a new date?
August 24th or 28th, I think is what it is.
Okay. Doesn't specify. Yeah, it doesn't specify in the article. Okay. I'm looking for you.
You look at that and it's like, well, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. So,
well, it's shitty for Tyson Fury because he was getting ready for Anthony Joshua. Then that fight got canceled because Wilder stepped into the promotion, the court case. Yep. So that fight got canceled. So then he steps into this, and now this happens. So he's been training for the last 6 months. Fucking no fight.
Well, the real question is, he was training at the UFC PI.
Yeah.
With COVID.
No, he moved somewhere. He's out of he's out of there. No, he was training there now? I don't think so.
Recently he was.
Yeah. All right, what else, Dave?
Last piece is a very interesting story. So CM Punk's fight against Mike Jackson has been overturned. So CM Punk's loss has been overturned due to a positive marijuana test with Mike Jackson.
Okay, let's first off, so what? Okay, first off, it's ridiculous. The whole thing with marijuana and being, hey, you just got dark, dude.
I just lost the lights.
Nice. Looking good. Just stay right where you're at. Don't move.
Hold on.
Don't move. Don't move.
Hold on. I don't even know what to do. I don't know where the light switch is.
Good. I can stay. Don't. Oh. Now he's gone.
Well, I'm almost done too. We're wrapping up, bud. Shit.
Oh goodness.
No, it's all right, man.
Just
It's
so you
their
know,
way of
that's
telling me get the fuck out.
that way.
No,
That's staying on the podcast.
no,
that's
that's great. I
great.
think it's great. I think it's great.
All right. So the real fact of the matter here is marijuana does not make a fighter better. The fact that Mike Jackson had marijuana in his system in a fight that happened how many years ago in Illinois, we don't allow any marijuana. Just stupid. Get with the times. Look at what's going on with WADA and the USADA and all of this now. It's just, if you want to take his win away, okay, you're taking his win away. Does that mean that Mike Jackson didn't beat CM Punk? No, he beat him. I remember it. I watched it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But Johnny had performance enhancements.
Yeah, performance enhancement. Again, I don't know how many times I can say this. It is the utter truth. Josh, you got dark again. I love it.
I got dark again.
Okay, just stay there. It is the absolute truth. I've never been a perfect person, and I've got my faults.
You don't say.
And getting into fights was a big fault of mine. And I tried, as time went on, I tried to stop doing it. But I never once got, I've been in fights with people on, that are drunk, which are just is ridiculous. But, people that take in alcohol, okay, I've had fights with people on PCP, people that are in freaking meth, cocaine, all right, speed, all that stuff. Never has anyone who was under the influence of marijuana ever tried to beat my ass. Not one.
Yeah.
It's not a performance enhancing, and it definitely doesn't make you a better fighter. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that you find with people that whether they do edibles or whether they smoke weed or whatever it is, they just, they don't have the anger issues.
No, they calm down and they laugh.
Yeah, they're more worried about just being around.
Or they get a little paranoid.
Hibernate in the corner. Yeah, they get a little paranoid, hibernate in the corner. So, yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know.
What else you got for us, Dave? That's it?
Silly.
That's it on news. Yep.
All righty. Well, I mean, we had it was a great night tonight at Thick Boy Studios, brand new studios. They literally only set this portion of the fight companion up just to bust this thing out. Put it to this point. There's no air conditioning here, so my back is super sweaty because they turn the AC off on the weekends because it's like they converted the whole place. It's like an office and a former office thing, but they're closed on the weekends. So you have to tell the people that own the building to turn on the AC, on the weekends if you're going to be in. And so they didn't know that yet. So they walked in today. I was like, so my back is just stuck to the chair. Joe, remember the first time you filmed in our studio?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We
Little
were
warm.
like 2.5 hours in, and we were both just sweating through our shirts to the back. It just started to smell like BO in there. I was like soaked through it. I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot. But yeah,
imagine
we had
2
the
years. Imagine 2 years of that, John.
Oh,
Jeez, 2 years, yeah.
I thought it was
Go through that
Sammy.
every summer there.
I thought it was Sammy.
No, I turn my AC on in there, but it just doesn't kick out enough. I don't know what
That's
it
how
is.
Josh cuts weight for his fights in that room.
All right, fellas. Well, hey, let's wrap this up. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/weighing in. Use the promo code and still pick up some of the shirts. You guys missed out on the 4th of July t-shirt, the Independence Day t-shirt. It was a great shirt that turned out wonderful. Thanks, Dave. But it was the white one that was the best one. I mean, you got the red one. I didn't really care for it.
Fantastic.
The white one was great. It was awesome. Loved the white one.
Red corner. A-side.
Yeah,
Hello.
the Royal. I don't
Hello.
think Dave knows. I don't think Dave knows what deep blue is. 'Cause
I don't
he
think
put
he
the
does
name-
either.
Yeah, I don't think he understands that either.
What's hilarious is I sent you a screenshot of the blue options and you picked that one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like the white one. All right. What else was there? Oh, guys, go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notifications bell down there. Please, also, this is the biggest thing. Go to our audio platforms and also follow our YouTube's clip channel or YouTube Shorts channel. Hit the subscribe button there. We finally got to 1,000 subs there. We're going to start trying to do more marketing there. Now that we hit the 1,000 subs, John and I are doing a special show directly for that for that Clips channel. So make sure you guys tune in for next week, because at that Clips channel, we will have a show available for there. It's a small little 15-minute show that we're doing just for the fans there that follow that Clips channel. So all of our 100,000 subscribers on our normal channel, please go over and hit the subscribe button on our Clips channel. Weighing in Shorts, Weighing in Clips, it all goes to the same location. Hit that subscribe button, check out. We're going to start releasing a couple little special clips on just that one alone as well. Share our content. We thank you guys so much. And John, take it away.
Just want to say thank you to everyone. Hope you enjoyed the UFC 264 as much as I did. There were some great fights. And for everyone out there listening to us, thank you very much for your time. We hope you are entertained, and we will see you